There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay. Hi. We return. Right now I'm alone. Maybe people will join. Probably not. We're just gonna be alone on this. That's fine. We are back with more of the story quest. That was my Discord, not yours. What happened last time? Oh yeah, Navia was very sad, and our Latina showed up. We explored a place, and Nicolette saved her from dying.
You're here! Finally!
But this time I have McDonald's, so I'll win.
Wrong?
Nah.
Monsieur Durvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
You sound like you're shitting bricks. Please go see for yourself. We got into a dispute.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us.
Oh
it is
God,
not
my
my
face
intention
broke.
to offend
No.
you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Yeah, we're just gonna sit on this?
You mean they're all...
Her brain had a process for a second.
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Shit, I thought I'd destroy those.
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured different images that seemed to correlate to the prophecy.
I just want to point out, she made it sound like she knew
The second of
about
these
them.
slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no
Let's
information
better pull out
regarding
a
the
goddamn
previous
gun at her.
Archon?
This
My
is great.
deciphering of the slate indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for,
Get some
a certain sin.
barbecue sauce, eat some
If
good
anyone
McDonald's,
would
you
know
know what
about
I'm
it,
saying?
it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing?
Yes.
I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Let's said bitch.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several
Ruthless, you just
indications
start
that you have
beating
been
the shit out of
investigating
her.
the prophecy on the
Fucking
sly.
Batman interrogation.
This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, you're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine.
No,
That's
it won't.
all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again.
Sure. I'll discuss it.
Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
I love the way she said toodles. I love when she says that. Fits her so perfectly.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh!
She
You
definitely
noticed.
does not have a plan.
Seems Farina didn't even
But it's
realize we were
struggling.
here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have
just
to
put a gun to
create
her
a
head.
situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Ballerchino.
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
Are we going to put me on
We
trial
will need
again?
to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is... But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Probably Navia, but my guess is Ballerchino. Yeah. Navia. Quiet Pazan. How is it quiet? They got fucking wrecked. What do you mean quiet? Also, this bitch got a load. God damn, this bitch got a load.
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Where?
Pascal was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Yes.
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Aw, poor Femine.
Me? No, I don't think I can.
I love these characters, man. I'm in love with Fontaine.
How about you, good sir?
Absolutely in love.
I fear that I will
That's a
cause the
shot
mood
and a
on
half.
this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things.
Just straight
Wonderful,
up just
the
go, someone
spotlight
fucking
at
start.
last. I
Somebody
guess I'll be
speak.
facilitating things from here.
That was a little
go ahead.
long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right.
Oh my god, we get it, your love.
To cut to the chase,
Chill.
our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is,
No, I
well,
don't.
let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand and used on the spot. So,
Oh my
let's
God, they
invite
were
her to
roommates.
explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
She doing one clapping.
Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory
Just
tricks to impress your
chance.
boss with in the future.
I see. And
I
what
see
does
the
my
ship
boss say?
These two now. I didn't see it
He
before.
is
now I
glad
see
that
it.
you consider
I
him
see
your
it.
boss. Do go on.
I see it and I support it.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I
I'm afraid
love
not.
his actor. His
You may or
VA
may
is
not have
so
heard,
great.
but Fontaine once
He
played
has like his
host to a
own
group known
Twitch
as the
streams and
Marechaussee
everything. And the
Hunters.
dude that
Though that
voices
was their
Fremine
name,
is so high
they did
energy.
not hunt
I love
animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment
I
device.
cannot wait. to
Sometimes
see
a
Carl
lethal
shoot
implement
him.
will also be necessary to deal with the prey.
I'm so excited
So,
because fucking
If we were to build a trap together,
Traverse
right now,
and
what would you choose to build it
Cheerleaders?
with?
I think the
For
face anime,
me,
have
I
no
would prefer
energy.
something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work
Then,
requires a
Lynette and
deft
Fremine are gonna be
hand,
on it,
and
so
we're some of the best in
cannot
the
wait
industry,
to pull
so you
copies
can
of them
count
and
on our
Get the
techniques.
constellations up.
You used some of
Preferably,
those
I would love to
techniques
see
while
sex
moving
all
the people in
three.
Poisson, didn't
I
you?
want to. I just
My
want to use all the
subordinates
Fontaine
mentioned that
characters,
you
honestly.
even performed some
Navia's
magic for the
so
bawling
far is the one
children.
that I've tried out that I
Yes,
haven't liked the
and I
most.
even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite
Lenny, I
the
don't know how to
multitasker if I
use
do say so
Nicolette, has
myself.
just been my main.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as
like
my
Golden
strong
Mini's weapon.
suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
Exactly the kind of
And
pussy.
I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I
You think this boy's
fear I
fun?
do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
True.
So, are we going hunting together?
Yeah, we're gonna kill Farina.
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
An exalted throne.
Oh,
That's so good.
so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
And now Lenny just knows the entire plan does not need to be explained. Dude's just goated like that. Reach such a dire stage. We need is simply the secrets she's keeping. Attempting to take her secrets is an act of sacrilegious disrespect, but must be done to prevent Fontaine from sinking into the water, says the foretold in the prophecy. There's neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. That's what you'll need. What was that achievement called? The Stage of Farina? The Stage of Fate. Ooh. Such simple words put together that make such powerful expressions. I fucking love it, man. Love, love, love it. Oh, love it. Oui. Oui, oui.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Why am I saying this? This is what Paimon says.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh?
That's kind of lame. We don't get to see it.
Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well...
Yeah, what do you think,
Paimon?
Paimon?
Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you do... Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
It's tea.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's
No, that's not a voice I recognize. That's the crazy part.
What a strange conclusion, but also such an interesting one. You two make such a fascinating combo, and yet even you feel confused. As such, I couldn't resist but come by for some tea and a chat.
Sounds like Lynette, but the way they speak sounds exactly like Farina.
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. Precisely. Call me N, a mage who wanders the world. At least, that's how my friends have suggested that I introduce myself. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
No.
People call such things fate, and it is written in the stars. It cannot so... so you've caught on.
Fate.
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
Ooh.
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
Oh, it's not. It's perfectly there.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others
Oh, it
we
sounds like
must
the inside of
reach
the cup,
out
like
to
the lining,
change.
but that looks like the tea.
Ultimately, fate
No, it's the
shall
lining.
serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
Oh my god, we're just crazy. Also, nice arm clipping. There's somebody outside. Punch them.
What? I want to hear someone talking. All right, coming. Hey, you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Banta. Hi, Mona.
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel.
Any money?
It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil journalist?
I love Charlotte.
I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Huh?
Huh?
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost.
So what the fuck has she been all this time?
And if she were
We're
still
going out the
alive,
Fontaine and now she's contacted us?
Well,
Alright.
suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Zirkel sounds like a scary group.
That's
But they must really stay in shape
sounds
to
like a
live so
magical
long.
fucking bukkake
Their
or
abilities
something.
alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Because you're dumb.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be,
Yes.
though, so
The prophecy is coming true, but there is something that we can do about it.
perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see.
Come.
I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh.
God, her voice
You
is so
do
nice
have
to
a
listen
point.
to.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But also kind of sad, too.
Oh, I can't
Hey,
speak for me.
Traveler.
I always feel
Paimon
sad.
suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go.
We are technically.
Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Technically, we're outside. Testically, we're outside, okay? Testically. go to the newsstand. Ladies and gentlemen, just run over here.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on?
We're on arrest.
Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that.
If she gets herself arrested, she can just go in.
Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet. The
There's a Rennie
Traveler's
at
Trail,
Spinecrest
World
over there, and
Walker.
it's fucking distracting, man.
Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us at this... Ugh, seriously? Well, fine.
What were we gonna do if you didn't? You were gonna do shit. Thank you. Let's spend crystals. Oh, I don't even know what they do. I just collect them. I have no idea what they do, man.
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
No. Alvia's gonna be in here. I saw that blip. Look for the objective in the area.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it, despite the tense situation we were in. Let's give it another go, but...
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Isn't she the one
Are
outside?
you here to buy
She
cake
is.
too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really
Hey,
say
yo.
something like that?
Hey, fucking yo.
Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you
Honestly,
come here
probably
often?
same. Dude, coffee sounds good.
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but
Explain.
maybe
Why would
the
it
waters will
close?
rise tomorrow.
Why would my coffee disappear?
You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No. Still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
How do you do that?
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
I know.
Oh,
I do
you
it
know
every
Sijuin?
day.
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
I've
God,
got
I
something
wish
else
it
to
was
do,
that
so I'll be
easy,
going
man.
now.
I
You two
wish.
try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
Bye. She's adorable. I love her.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. I'm unsure this cake will be delicious.
That was weird. What the fuck was that time change?
It's more delicious than last time. And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Confused what that line's supposed to mean. Then again, I am kind of confused on what the message trying to be conveyed is here. Very confused. That's okay. I think okay. We got tea and cake. That sounds really good right now. I am definitely gonna make me some tea later. 100%. I want to bought more peppermint tea. So I don't know, fucking.
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Why do you make it sound like we're evil? We need to go have a chat. What? God damn it. Hold on, we gotta go do this. Hello, ma'am. I do not care. Thank you.
Wow!
Fuck's sake.
If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve. You just quick Mora.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right,
Well.
though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really?
I sent a letter to Basan. I was wondering if you see
You're
it.
almost a little too easy
About
to win
that.
over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings
She
you
could
here all of
be.
a sudden? Were you looking for me?
I'm
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it, we thought of coming to see you. Her name's Mona.
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well. She's a guest columnist for our paper. Really good one, too. She's so young and already such a brilliant astrologist. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
No.
Huh? So
Fuck
your
it.
article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
I want to know what drugs have you done and where? Where can a girl get some
If you
drugs?
say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Fine, we'll chat
So
on
it's a
your
yes?
schedule. We'll shit when you want to
I'll tell
shit.
the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and
Jesus Christ. We don't need all
so
that.
much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Okay then. Okay, just
Wait,
words on
Charlotte,
deaf ears.
Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Die.
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily.
From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do?
Everybody would be
I'd
dead.
write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic.
My point doesn't stand though. Damn
but
it.
I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
I love Charlotte.
She's
the only journalist
so
I like. She
nice.
cares about people's feelings when
All
writing
of a
journals.
sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies
And like
her.
articles and stuff.
Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
She cares about personal information and wants to make sure everyone she's writing about is okay. And I love that.
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh?
Look, and out there's the edge of the world.
Paimon's been thinking.
You're stupid? Correct.
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No,
come here.
Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Die. I don't know.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
Yes, it's kind of like what Charlotte fucking said. That's already nightfall. What do you mean? What do you mean? It was daytime when I went to the fucking journalist place with Charlotte, and it switched itself to night. I mean, that's awesome. That's cute and heartwarming. Aww. Aw, it's so cute we're all gonna die.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
Rude?
But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure.
Debatable.
It's not only damp there, but salty too.
What do you mean by that?
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide. Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't
Oh my God.
personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in.
Poor girl.
The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her.
She's gonna go
But
activate
we
the
don't
prophecy.
have any leads yet.
She said, "Fuck her."
That
people.
said, I don't think there's
Y'all
much to worry
bitches.
about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
Alachina almost killed her. I don't know.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
I saw that. She just slid up that. I saw
Well,
that
sounds
shit.
like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place
Now's our
to
time to
wait out
strike
the
and
heat.
beat her.
And as we also know, she may be loud and
beat the shit out of
dramatic,
her.
but she doesn't have a heart of stone.
What is your plan?
When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse.
It's almost as if
It would be hard
she
for
doesn't
her
want to see
to
her
ignore
people
being
die, but
accused
doesn't know
by
what
the
the
public
fuck to
today.
do.
Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of
Poisson.
guilt that she's feeling.
Oui, oui, baguette.
Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up. In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Yes, we get it, Paimon. Ego the stroke. My lord. I should have eaten first and
This
just
place looks
rest.
deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already.
Then who's
All
that
that's
guy?
left here are signs of devastation.
Vincin.
Could Farina really be
Vincino.
here? Let's try to find her as soon as
Vincenzo.
possible.
Vincenzo. Nintendo. That's what that is. It's just straight up Vinny from Nintendo. The homie. Farina. We know you're in there. And that you're all alone. Be a good little Archon and open the door. For those that don't know, that's a Home Alone reference.
That's Farina, right over there. She really is here all on her own.
Shut up.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless.
Sorry, I know this is a bad time to be getting more
What was
sauce
meant
for
to
my
happen
nuggets,
did
but
happen after all. Everyone's dead.
not everyone. Okay, chill. Calm down.
I'm so sorry.
Calm down. Not everybody's dead. There were survivors.
Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out.
Hold on, hon. There were survivors. Hold on.
Sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and over?
Poor girl. She needs to hug.
Who's that? Don't worry, Farina. It's just us.
She better whip out her sword and stuff.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were summoned from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for
The
my
fact that she can
forgiveness.
hide face is so
Farina.
impressive.
You were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
It's obvious that we could fucking hear you.
What do you mean, tear stains?
Is she actually? Oh, yeah,
I
she was.
remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it.
No.
Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces
God, her
once they
voice actor
realize that
does a
I'm nowhere to be
fantastic,
found.
phenomenal job.
Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marsh Chaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too. Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there!
Hey, there she is! Get her!
Quick, after her!
Beat the shit out of her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
Beat her.
They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Farina just ran off.
She said, bye, fucker. Yay! What is that run cycle the first one was doing? I can't run. I don't know how. I forgot. Oh, we hit. I was like, are you that stupid? House, quickly, break in.
Place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way.
Ha! Hook, line, and sinker, bitch! Ha! Ha! Shoot the fucking tranquilizer at her. Tranquilize that bitch. We got her. Ladies and gentlemen, we got her. Yeah! Enjoy the smell of fish.
Paimon's exhausted.
You fly! The fuck are you exhausted? Shut the fuck up, Paimon.
So
Fuck
tired.
you.
I totally thought they had caught me. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed. You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
Yeah, good girl. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's happening? The ground's shaking. Is it an earthquake?
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the evacuation should go a lot smoother this time.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
She's stiff.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years. I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me.
And now
I've tried
they're
all
dead.
kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled. Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free. Indeed, I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules. The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but honestly, considering my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
I love her gloves.
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes.
How did you hear about
In
that?
other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case...
Die! You okay, Farina? You need to get it off your chest. Holy shit! What the fuck? How? How did you do that? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now,
What?
without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does
It's
it not
crazy
strike you as even
how
the least bit
quickly she puts
absurd
on
to
an
bring the
act.
very
It's
concept of
insane.
justice to trial?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a god?
Yes. That is a cool ass sword.
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
She said, no, fuck that shit.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. No duel shall be necessary. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. It is my duty to stand trial for my crimes. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. I, too, am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice. This time,
Phoenix Wright music
I
commence.
will protect you.
Applaud
and rejoice. One of the
I wish I
most
could. I totally
outrageous
would.
and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes.
I would love the blast.
Mark my words. This shall be
That
one
was
of
cute.
the
Oh
most
my God.
exhilarating and brilliant
That was
shows
beautiful.
ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Quickly move my mouse. Don't need that on the screen.
Now we're making history.
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
Yes.
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Hello. Hello.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
Where's the arrow mark too?
Also, please allow me to ask, as a
God, I
final
wish I was
question
there.
before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Too much.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean... the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
Or...
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. All Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
No.
Oh? Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance. It's fine. It matters not. What's done is done. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
We have to judge the Hydro Archon.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? So she's already finished it, huh? Wait. Then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine! So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument! Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Just so you remember what the
defeated the
fuck
Hydro
you've done.
Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House. That's one for... I didn't think this is the first time a Fatui Harbor... According to Miss... I nearly lost the words of someone as extraordinary...
Cool. I remember it all. I don't need it.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position.
I was there when I did it. I
The
know
trial
what I did.
shall now begin.
Damn it.
Oh, come on, Nervylette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
That threw me off guard.
Instead,
I forget he has a voice
I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a
It's so
fraud?
strange to hear the Traveler not scream Windblade.
I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but... Did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted.
I bet.
Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Yes.
Do it.
Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible. But what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice.
We have the biggest thing. We have the little things in the ruin
everything that's happened
that
as
show
a dramatic
the Hydro
spectacle
Archon
and
that you
move
don't
on
know
with
about
our lives.
as the Hydro
What do you say
Archon.
to that?
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? You have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am?
The second Archon!
If I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
Special about Farina. She's specially cute. Child!
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neverland sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being?
I don't think you are a human being, though.
Everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
I think you are
For centuries,
cursed,
manifestations
but not
of
human.
my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the endonidium that is used in every aspect of life.
You tried to reference the Oratrice. But weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
Yeah, there is.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order. While the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
Got him.
So, you neither knew why Child
Got
was
him.
declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, The manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created.
I just not noticed like little water
You
cup.
can't-
I thought it was like a
You
tier
can't
of water,
argue
not like
that
an
just
actual
because a
water trumpet.
divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
My
Herbert!
power as an Archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
Because it proves that you are the
If that
Archon.
poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium! Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
False.
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Ooh, kill him. Don't kill Farina.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Does the Oratrice go off the audience or just
Come
itself?
now, everyone! Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar.
She's blushing.
I'm still the same Farina you knew, right?
She's got a little
The
blush
one
in
that
her
you
eye.
loved.
That's cute.
Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And then all of our ancestors?
And our great-grandparents, and our great-great-grandparents, and our great-great-great-grandparents, and our
Enough.
great-great-great-great.
That's enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me then.
Did they
If
put her
I'm
throne
not
over there
the
for her?
real Hydro Archon, then who is?
Me!
If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's
No
existence,
way.
nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
Nilu is.
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
She's only human. Just shoots her in the head. She would die from this. This. Don't know.
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't...
I don't know. None of this. None of these make sense. Fuck off. Oh my god.
It has been established that all Fontanians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea.
And that means we're gonna dissolve
Since
you.
insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions
gonna
of you being
dissolve
the
your
liar.
ass.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper
She's
procedure.
broken the rules like 7 times.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn.
You've said that 8 times.
I brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago. taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of the seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case.
Just drink it.
But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula.
I still
Spina
think
has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her
she's
suggestion is
not
valid.
Human, but
if Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
But it gives
Well,
us
of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
Do it!
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Oh my god! She's dead! Hey! You were supposed to do that! She's dissolving.
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewien? If you are present, Miss Siegewien, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewien? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewien.
She's dead.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Oh, shit. Thank you, Miss Siegewien. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You...
No.
Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater. Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Nope.
Please, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Furina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Oh, God, I wish I was there.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
She's gonna unleash all their hydro power. Just kill everyone. No one can prove me wrong if they're dead.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Furina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Furina is guilty.
You will not make me cry.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Do it, not guilty.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Furina is...
What's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Hell yeah!
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: the Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death sentence.
Jesus fuck!
The death sentence?
Hey yo, whoa, chill.
I've always thought that it was just a myth.
Yo,
the one
chill.
and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice.
Oh, hold up,
unexpected twist.
chill.
Furina's been sentenced
Hey
to
yo,
death
we
by
don't need to put a death sentence on her. Hey yo, James, what do you think about this? Do you think Furina deserves death?
Escalate this quickly.
What?
This outcome is indeed
Hey
quite strange.
hold up.
According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences,
Hold on, we don't need to put a death
is
sentence
this
on it.
sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Jesus
fuck! She wasn't sentenced to death
Anyway,
by
she
the
wanted to pop in here doing.
You know, the real evil mastermind
Oh.
of the serial disappearances case.
So we just proved that the Hydro Archon was not in fact the Hydro Archon. And the Oratrice gave out the guilty verdict. Okay. But it also said the punishment shall be the death sentence.
Yeah.
But it also did state that the Hydro Archon is guilty. That's also very interesting. Very strange. What the fuck? Hold on, we don't need to do a death
sentence. Not only is
sentence.
Furina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Furina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place.
Yet the
But now,
Oratrice says
the Oratrice seems to have
it
deliberately
is.
invoked the title of the Hydro Archon.
But that she
What
should
does this
die.
mean?
Hey,
Yes.
yo.
I'm gonna agree. She should die.
If I may
I know.
interrupt,
I fucking.
Anyways, I'm gonna hop off.
is
Alright.
The
Love you,
trial's
homie.
still going?
Love you, homie. Bye-bye.
Fremine!
Mwah.
You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
By the way, that was the homie James.
Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
What you got, Fremine?
He
found
prophecy slate?
Poggers! That's my boy! Oh, good sweet boy.
So the name
Good sweet boy,
arranged for
Fremine.
Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the
It's
record
okay,
left on the
sweet boy.
slate.
No, you did good, sweet boy. Fremine is
Traveler,
sweetest boy.
believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. We'd like you to come here and confirm their contents.
No. So how do you like get up there? That's my answer. Because we can do it like so fast. I gotta look at this place. I gotta see. There's gotta be some kind of like doorway. It just doesn't make sense. Releasing her divine powers.
I
Oh,
believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon.
Come on, chill.
So when you say
Jesus
Hydro Archon, do you mean the
dude.
real Hydro Archon we've been kind of talking about?
Oh my lord.
In truth, everything
Paimon,
that you've
we've
encountered
seen
in
there be
Fontaine
two
up until this
different
point can be
fucking
traced back to the
Archons.
contents
We've
of
met
these stone
Raiden
slates.
and Nahida.
However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Oh, you're not gonna remember. You're too stupid. Select to check descriptions. To extract key information from them. Ah, jeez, Rick. You can find scenarios related to the stone slate's contents in the incidents record and in the interview notebook. There you can verify said content. Oh, jeez. The recollection can feed the father on right the minute of his rose. When you finish verifying all the sources, the first video. Alright.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontanians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, the second stone
But how
slate shows
do
Celestia floating in the
certain-
sky, and the
No,
Hydro Archon
never
and her
mind.
people worshipping it together. But the heavens still... This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people.
Which it looks like Farina.
That reminds Paimon, didn't we? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
So what do we need? The evidence that verifies prophecy, slate 3.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound...
No, what? Okay. That's that. God fucking damn you.
That doesn't...
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater. If we hadn't dealt with it in time...
Okay, I'm so confused. It shows the Hydro Archon is surrounded by many people. So who proves this?
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro.
Oh, okay, now I understand. Worship together, but the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. That's with no. That.
Perhaps what is about to take place. The true sin of the Hydro and the original sin cast down.
Okay, and then the first one, we know to be him?
We know from the case of the serial disappearance, and the first stone slate tells this might be the reason.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin.
Real quick. No hate, but trying to record, and my friend has sent me a lot of messages. No hate to them. Quick 15-minute mute. I want to get this done.
Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson, and the eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest. The stone slate's contents can all be verified by recent events.
Burn! All of this for one-time use. Isn't that crazy? All this hard work and dedication for one-time use in the story. So good.
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now. So that's how you can make sense
So
of
what
it.
we've experienced here in Fontaine has already happened, and we're just following along the
We're going to have to
already.
share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
Fontainians are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real!
Not real humans.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in
So that's
how
such a
only Fontainians
low-res
could dissolve in
fucking
primordial
statue.
seawater, and how
Or
all the
slate,
pearls
not statue,
Vacher
it's a slate.
dissolved
That's
were
such
also
low
turned into
resolution.
oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial. All of them in the shape of oceanids.
Indeed.
So every time I kill the Yoshida in Mondstadt, we're killing a Fontainian.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably anchored Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
But it's okay for the
Hydro
Archons to
Archon's
fight
true
in their
sin
war.
Was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been... In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
No.
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of
You're
the
making
truth.
it sound like you know the
However,
truth.
while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I
He's
was
the
unable
original
to come to a
Archon.
full conclusion.
No.
Now that the
He's the
slate
dragon.
collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
Yep.
Well, did you get it?
I believe I
Says
should
you-
share this truth
says
not
you's
only
a
with
bitch.
you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial
Fully
seawater
clothed
into
as
the
well.
Oceanid's blood
Amazing.
vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
This is gonna go for 2
Alas,
hours,
your
bro.
hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, cool.
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice. Yes, it refers to our present situation.
Oh my god! So the next thing that's gonna happen is we're all gonna die!
So, what you're saying
Pog.
is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid
Poggers.
fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
Die. Poggers, we get to die. Trophies.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does
that
that mean
hurts.
the scene in the fourth slate
Oh.
will also be fulfilled soon?
Oh, that was so
Traveler,
beautiful.
I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions.
We will not
About
die.
the fourth
We will
slate,
live forever.
you probably thought that the eruption of
not say
primordial
that.
seawater beneath the fortress of Meropide served as the surest sign that the
I did
prophecy
not
was about
say
to come
that.
to pass,
I
yes?
only said we are not
However,
filled with tumors.
I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
Child. It's his fault. Goddamn child. Oh, God. I don't
This
know,
eruption
bro.
is just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Oh, it's the whale. Oh, it's the whale and a child's master. That's what it is. Okay. The whale.
It was both dream and reality.
It's the whale! We gotta kill it!
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The prophecy comes from this stupid fucking whale. We kill it, we're saved. Let's go whale hunting, boys.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
I'm trying to eat a chicken nugget, goddammit. Oh my god, animated cutscenes. Log. Hey, look who it is. It's the bastard himself. Let's go! Dude, that is the most badass thing ever. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. I fucking love Child.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here.
It said, fuck you.
That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all
So the primordial
while.
seawater is its tears.
It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea.
No.
Using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels.
Okay. So
And
it
once
wants
it is
our
finished
primordial
consuming
seawater.
all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be
Attacking
You
Fontanians
said
because
that
we have
when the
primordial
Hydro
seawater.
Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Yeah, so it's going to attack
Precisely.
Fontanians because the
that
primordial
whale
seawater.
finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist.
Poggers, dude.
Therefore,
That was such a
when it
sexy
left the
cutscene, though.
primordial
Oh my
sea,
God.
it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale
so
is
that
the
explains
actual
why
cause
Child
of the
escaped from the
disaster
prison
recorded in the prophecy,
and where he's been, and where he went to was to fight the whale.
would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
And he's been constantly
It is
fighting.
too
Has not
late.
won yet. So wait, it's
It
too
had
late.
already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself.
If we kill
Even
it,
if
we
the
die.
entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other
Just gonna
world.
fuck off.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed. That's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end. No matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
This is something that
You may view
the
such
God's
things
eye
as
has
the
not
history
seen.
of the future.
Language.
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods. Could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's
Sorry,
gaze
pour me a
does
little
not
bit
fall?
of water. Oh, mate, I'm pouring me some water.
Ultimately,
like some
fate shall serve as
got
your
some
only
water?
guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future.
My McDonald's have the head tea in it.
All you need to do is to play your part.
And kill the fucker! Quickly, everyone. Battle stations. We're killing this fuck. Yeah, kill the fucking whale. Okay, battle plan for me. Kill it. What the fuck?
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
Oh, shite. What? Let's force the lore.
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't
Farina?
help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
But
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success.
But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor, why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
The more I play this game, the more I realize Matt Pet's
that
theory on the
pernicious
heavenly
prophecy.
principles that he had for Genshin
Dreadful,
Impact.
wasn't it?
It was a sponsored
Everyone
video as
doomed to
well.
dissolve.
It makes me think it's
Fontaine
true.
condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem
She's
was
also
thrust upon
fucking
me by my
fantastically
dearest
beautiful in this outfit.
predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's
That's
hand.
now you've become
Yes,
the next Hydro
I
Archon,
was.
though. You're not the
I
original,
always
but you're the
dreamed
next.
of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity.
So she is the
and
god.
The human counterpart I left
But she
behind.
split herself.
I
So this
mean,
is for
Farina.
Lore.
She could feel
and
joy,
that is Farina.
sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited,
That is basically the
or
human
as
side of
meek
her.
and vulnerable as she wished.
But put together,
Her
it is still
strengths were of
Focalor,
a
the
kind
Hydro
only
Archon,
a human
god.
could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Get my mouth off the screen. Tears out there. Here's your name. Farina's Inner World. Time to talk.
Here we go.
We need to talk, ma'am. Excuse me, Mom, but we...
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it? I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
Turn off. Oh, all the spotlights.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
How'd it go?
Settle down.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know.
Silence without...
Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Not now.
There we go. Ticket. When did that end up here? But I cannot read what any of this says. Oh. I'm supposed to sit there. Before a mirror, Farina. Do not make me click things. I just want to sit and watch. God damn it. I just want to sit and watch. You fuck. I'm getting all cozy. What What if we try to sit here and exit this place? I wonder what happens. That I am far too lazy to try that.
Farina. Farina.
Huh?
Gary.
Who's calling me?
Come on out,
Where are
Gary.
you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me? What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, by the way. That's really but cool. You may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
Scene 2. Now what? So that's her outfit. It's like a mix of both. Kind of, yeah. Oh, okay.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people.
You got this, girl.
What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Farina de Fontaine, your new Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy. Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play. Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Eureka moment!
It's quite shocking, to be honest.
Urethra!
It's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech.
My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine! There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Fuck yeah! Opera House Farina. Operation House is a go. What is this behind me? Oh, it's a bed. Oh, there's delightful little bookshelves over here.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
Oh, now we gotta go sit over here. Oh, thank God, it's not just walking. I'd lose my mind.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right, Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family, too. He is doing much better now. In fact,
I swear to God, if this goes on to 3 hours.
He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, Please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
Ah, you're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Holy crap. I don't hate this part, but oh my god, I hate that there's been no stopping points, really. Oh, my lord. I might just finish it tonight, honestly.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it.
Aww.
All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
You'll be dead and gone.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
And then, Shweepies. The Shweepies.
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I just need to keep going, and everyone will be saved. All right, Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Holy shit. Scene 4, Opera House Farina.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
There always is. History is not...
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute.
The Institute of Fallout!
I don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
Damn. There's still more! Holy shit! End! Let it end! Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. It shouldn't end because this is Farina's life. It will never end. Holy God. Holy God!
It's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Dioteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer, a descendant of a line most ardent.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Oh, are you crying?
Uh-huh. Really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh,
Wow,
Archon,
so
I
great
am
power.
honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
Farina's the little embodiment of the fucking crying cat meme, just holding the thumbs up going, okay.
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps I reached it long ago.
Oh my god.
Today I didn't even notice my
Farina's
own
about to make me break. I'm about to join Farina right now.
want to
Holy
tell
shit.
someone, anyone about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries. But there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
Oh. There's an and.
Farina,
we've got
you
it
don't have
here.
to shoulder this burden alone.
We
Although
finally
I don't
got
know
to
what you
here.
might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
This is my voice? I have voice lines besides Windblade? Besides,
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator, aren't you? If that's the case... He's right. I could confide in him, couldn't I? But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price.
can't be
No,
selfish
Farina,
because it would kill Fontaine.
you shouldn't be selfish.
Well,
But what if it's really alright? Farina, you've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Just this once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never come by again. Think about it long and hard.
No, I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
Fine then.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine? That is the most important thing.
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Holy shite!
I beg your pardon?
Fuck!
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be, accumulated to enact this death sentence.
So
It was
why there's never
all
been a
part
death
of your
sentence.
plan then? Both the
only death
trial
sentence to be
and the
called
sentence.
was Farina's.
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that
I want the
purpose.
screenshot, thanks.
Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontanians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Nervillet, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Fussalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervillet. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Poor boy. And here it is, the dance of death. So we experienced the human side, and we experienced the god side. That's badass. They're marrying each other! Yes! Oh, kind of. No, a little bit. Wait, this doesn't make sense. We get to play as Frina, who's dead. Why can't we play as Lady Signora? gorgeous. I have always seen her dance. I have never seen the sword hit her. I've never seen the full cutscene of this. I've seen little bits and pieces of just her dancing. Thank you, Farina, for all of you. From this moment on, please live happily as a human. Just like wish to be. So there's no longer a Hydro Arc. Oh, my poor boy Nouvelet. Fuck.
I, Nudex Nouveret, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Fuck the heavenly principles! Oh my god, this got me shaken, bro. Oh my lord. Oh. Oh. So by the way, it's official. Fontaine is my absolute favorite region ever.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
Cubes. Fucking Shadow Hedgehog with the president.
We must mete out punishment to
They're
that
just silent and
beast.
then just going, something just happened.
Just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial sea from that creature. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
You obtain
Traveler,
power?
now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler.
Narwhal swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion, because they are so awesome. Sorry, I had to. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this. I'm just gonna finish this quest up tonight. We're finishing this. We're finishing Act 5 tonight. That's not gonna give me a choice either. I have to fight the narwhal, so I don't have a choice. Let's go, child.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the wind. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon. We shall look for an opening. But I can feel that sorrow turning into hostility.
Brace yourselves.
Silence! The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its
God!
hostility. Present itself.
He's so dead! I'm gonna need that healing, bro. My ass ain't living. I'll fuck him again. Goodbye, my construct.
Settle down!
Oh, fucking sliding. That's so funny.
The show begins.
Bow your head.
Yo, this music is fucking banging.
granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its truth from within.
The night is cold. Time to shine.
Settle down. Let the mighty
What
be
the
humble.
fuck, dude? Go for it, Nuvalet. Kick its ass. The judge. What is it? The judge, the precinct, the executioner, whatever it's called. Well, hello there. I thought we were gonna kill a narwhal today. Hey, yo! Okay,
Thanks for
fuck
helping
shot.
with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Hyman has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well,
Dude, her legs are beautiful. That's so gorgeous.
Oh, right. So you don't know him.
I swear to God.
Sorry,
it's my one
I assumed
friend.
you did. His name is Sertologi.
Stertologia.
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfalnir then? Or Gold Rhindaughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhindaughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes?
I love the
My master
delivery
is
for
likely a
lines.
similar sort to
God, she's
Rhindaughter.
downright
They are
gorgeous.
both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Hyman didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
What?
Yeah, this is exactly what we want. The prophecy is going to happen. There's no stopping it.
Not
But
to
the
worry.
people will be saved.
Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
Yeah.
In the
The
end,
prophecy is gonna
the
go
people
on.
will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. There's no stopping it.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Yeah. And then they will, and life and Fontaine will return to normal, and they will all return to normal. Because their justice is being created and living on in Fontaine.
Hey! Help! Over here!
Then we got rid of the primordial seawater from Narwhal. It's affected Fontaine. So we're safe.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
Yep. As I called it. It'll be washed away. But nothing will disappear.
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
No, the prophecy was right. The sins have been dissolved. Because Fossilor, the Hydro Archon, God of Fontaine, is now dead. That was the sin. Was the Archon.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
I see.
I think I tried to play Dufalet's AFK quote. Have I seen the valley in its own words? And all it did was give a cutoff of, I see.
The Solo renewed. The Svina di Rasula tax post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Svina di Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it. Skyship Winglet, billionaire brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Juria and Navia? They sound like...
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down. The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those people.
Oh, yeah.
Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
Paimon's curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to see that Duke.
Are you
Gonna
sure?
fuck that Duke.
Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the...
Okay, I want her to finish, but I have to stop. We got free, narwhal cons? What that is? I don't know. How many achievements have we completed? Like 6? You get 1 for that? Blah, blah. There's a survey. Maybe for what? Oh, that was an narwhal drop, because I kind of was a domain. Interesting. Alright, well. We're not finished with it. There we go. Yeah, claim it. God damn it. But I am ending off this recording now. And I will continue the story. But for fall breaking, I'm continuing tonight. I'm literally going to stop, take a quick break, and then resume. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Only if you want to. If you want to see more, then please tune back in. Anyways, take care.